Thank you so much for watching, listening, and we're continuing our series, like a part 2 series, Flip the Script. And how about starting with a joke? Well, maybe I should invite you to subscribe first before I tell you the joke, because you might not want to well, no, I think you'll want to subscribe no matter what, because we have great content. So here's your joke. Who hides in the bathroom at parties? The party pooper. I get it. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you just did that. Well, you know, next week's going to be boatloads better. And I want to continue our series, Flip the Script. Jesus flips the script. We talked a couple weeks ago about being a follower of Jesus, a disciple, and how during that last week of Jesus' life on earth, the disciples kind of flipped the script. They were, celebrating Jesus' triumphal entry, and then 4 to 5 days later, they're all abandoning him. Last week we talked about the donkey carrying Jesus, and then flipped the script that we carry the cross, and Simon of Cyrene carried Jesus' cross. And then I want us to think about another individual in this whole scenario of flipping the script. And this guy, his name is Nicodemus. And Nicodemus was part of the Pharisee crowd. And on Palm Sunday, when Jesus is coming into Jerusalem, triumphal entry, the Pharisees told Jesus, hey, you need to tell all of your followers, your fan base, your fan clan, that they need to zip it. This is way out of bounds. It's inappropriate. They were religious, and they knew the law of Moses and the legalism, and they were challenged, they were confronted by Jesus, the praise and adulation he was receiving. They were probably jealous, angry, wanted to squash him, wanted to control him, and wanted Jesus to conform to their parameters, their expectations, their idea of appropriate, pious worship. And it's interesting because Jesus told the Pharisees, look, if they don't celebrate, the rocks will cry out. This is such a jubilant day, such a fantastic celebration. And I want you to answer this question. Think about this for a moment. When have you ever felt you worshiped Jesus and it was absolutely one of the most glorious experiences of your life? Have you ever had that experience where you're worshiping Jesus and it's like, I'm all in, and it's 100% like just almost a divine heavenly experience? If you've ever had that, just kind of make a little thumbs up or answer the question right there. Just say, yeah, that happened to me here. I mean, I've had a couple of those experiences, and I love it. I love it. And I think the disciples on that day, Jesus' triumphant entry, and I think they were very caught up in celebrating and honoring and worshiping Jesus. But in contrast, the Pharisees were confrontational and combative. True to form. True to form. I mean, that's you read about them over the course of the Gospels, and you see this. It's not anything abnormal for the Pharisees to be cranky, hostile, and combative with Jesus. But the script gets flipped, because it's interesting. I mentioned at the beginning Nicodemus, because when you read all the way through and you go to actually the Gospel of John, you'll see that Nicodemus bought a whole boatload of burial supplies, resources, myrrh, and all the things they used to bury a body. Nicodemus, who is a Pharisee, bought all these things to prepare Jesus' body for burial and helped carry Jesus from the cross, prepare him for burial and to bury his body. Nicodemus, he flipped the script. The Pharisees who were cranky with Jesus and combative with Jesus on his triumphal entry, Nicodemus, in essence, leaves all of that community, all of his religious undertones and, pious, particular legalism. And he says no to all of that so that he can honor, revere, and prepare Jesus' body for burial. He flips the script. And I love what Nicodemus does, because he chooses to honor and celebrate and revere Jesus even in his death. And he leaves the Pharisees to be more loyal to Jesus. And so the challenge on this, I would say, is, some of us, we have religious upbringing. I'm a pastor's kid, So I have I grew up sleeping under pews. So there's a whole lot. And some of it was great in my upbringing, and some of it was a little neutral, and some of it not so great. But I want us to be careful that we don't consider the following of Jesus a religious expression, but rather relational. And I think that's a big script flip, is that we're not religious and going dutiful obligations and pious particulars and legalistic logistics, but we're very intimate and we're relational, we're raw, we're honest, and we take risks because of our relationship, our commitment, our loyalty to Jesus. So thank you for subscribing. Hit the notification bell right there. Keep you posted when we put up new content. And again, we got fantastic content, so make sure you share this with your friends, because again, this is a really, really great series on flipping the script.